All right. So in this video, we're going to go over list stacking and skip tracing. So once you're logged into your account, this is the screen. You're going to see your dashboard. So it's just a quick overview, total properties, vacants, if you've opted out anyone, the amount skip traced, and then just a couple quick little charts and whatnot for you to quickly reference. So from there, you have your balance, your wallet on your account. You can add here minimum of 50, but you can put any amount in there. So there's that. Next, you have your help button. So this is going to give you a couple different options. So click that. You can go to our help center. You can give feedback. You can report a bug. You can suggest a feature. So if you click here to your help center, this screen's going to pop up and it's going to show you all of our different videos, previously recorded webinars, best practices, etc. Or if you're not sure what your which article is going to make the most sense, you can just start typing and it's going to start popping up with different things that you may be looking for. So that is that. Also, you have a support chat here. So lots of really great resources. Again, previously recorded webinars are in here. We have 2 to 3 weekly, which are really awesome. So definitely take advantage of that. So we're going to go back here. Next, we're going to go to here, click on your profile, and this is just like your information. Make sure you have your correct time zone put in there. If you need to reset your password, billing, your list manager, so if you ever want to see that, tag manager, if you ever want to add a user depending on which plan you're at, integrations, custom fields, this is for importing, so if you have certain special fields you want, you can do that anywhere from 5 to 15 depending on your plan. So that is pretty much everything for your settings. So go back to the dashboard, and from here we're going to go to the property screen. This is where you're going to do just about everything. So if you click here, this is where you're going to import. You can do an import by a single property or a bulk import. So if you click here on bulk import, you're going to want to upload a CSV file. And we're just going to select one here. And then once it's loaded, and click next. Source field is what's inside of your Excel spreadsheet. Destination is what you want to be imported in. So of course we want first and last name of property owner, property address. If you have the mailing address, definitely include that, as you will, the system will easily identify your absentee owners. If it has been skip traced, obviously you'll see more things on your source field, but you can, import phone numbers, emails, and then your custom fields, things like that, just depending on what you're wanting to import in and what's in your file. So from there, you're going to click next. And as you're importing, I want you to think of the data organizational piece like your filing cabinet. So you're going to have your main kind of master files or folders, and then you're going to have like subfolders within. So obviously in the beginning, you're going to want to add new. So you're going to have maybe say like if you have high equity, pre-foreclosure, tax delinquent, like you're all going to have its own filing cabinet. You're not going to have like 20 pre-foreclosure lists because you pull them monthly or whatever. So what you would do is we're just going to pretend like I already have all my data imported and this is a new pre-foreclosure list. So I'm going to select my existing list, and then what I'm going to do so I can easily identify it is add a tag. So I'm going to click add new. I'm going to put in like today's date and just like name it whatever, add description if you want, and then click done. Then here, opt out all addresses. You're always going to want to click no. The only time you're going to click yes is if maybe it's a list that's like been recently sold, so you want to suppress those people from the system so you don't market to them, or maybe you have like your own reoccurring DNC list, things like that. So because the system doesn't allow duplicates, if they are opted out, if they ever pop up on another list, it's not going to allow you to market to them. So from there, you're going to click submit, and it's going to pop you into the import screen, and it's going to tell you what you named it, how many records, if something was or was not imported, The two reasons you're going to see something not imported is it's not a valid USPS address. If you copy and paste it, you can literally see that it's not a real address. A lot of the time it's like popping up in the middle of nowhere, so you're not going to want to import that in unless you know for a fact this is maybe like a vacant land property list or something like that. The other reason you'll see is it's just a duplicate. So again, the system doesn't allow duplicates, so those are the two reasons you would see something not imported. Also, in that same place, you'll see export logs as well. So from there, now that we have our data imported, we're going to go back to the property screen and go into some list stacking. So you're going to click here, filters, and you can be very broad, you can get very specific. So if you want to just do something basic like who's on 2 or more lists, you can literally scroll that over, click apply filters, and it's going to identify who I have on 2 or more lists. So I have roughly 2,400 people. I could then select all. If I want to then add a tag to it so I can reference it later, I can. If I want to add it to a list, export it out, maybe go throw in a dialer. If I wanted to skip trace it, if it needed to be, I can do that as well. If I wanted to opt it out, I could do that too. So that's one example. I'm going to do quick reset. Click filters again. If you want to know, if you want to know who's on 2 or more lists, but then exclude a certain list, I could do that too. Same with tags, you can include, exclude, so you can get pretty generic there. Also, there is, if you click here on add conditional filter, this is if I want to maybe search by property zip. So maybe I just want to see who's in this zip code. I can also search that way, which is really helpful. And again, my results are going to pop up, and if I was searching that way for whatever reason, there you go. So that's another way you can filter. So you can filter by list, you can filter by anything basically imported in. Also, we're going to actually reset. And then we have these filters down here. So we have property vacant, the system's backed up by the USPS, so every month it's updated, so I can see who my vacants are. I can click apply filters and see who is there. It's updated every single month between the 1st and the 5th, so around the 7th you should see it updated in your system. So essentially you could be getting new vacants every single month from your existing leads, which is really awesome. At any point you can click here on the property and it's going to pull this up. So it's going to give you some really awesome property information. As you can see, it is vacant, gives you some value here, some other characteristics, things like that. I can just look at the owner details. I could see what list this came from, lots of comparables, things like that. So the screen's really, really awesome. Again, that's all my vacants. If I wanted to see who's newly vacant for that month, after the 7th, I could see who that is. There's also the mailing vacant, yes or no, absentee. So as long as you imported mailing and property address, system will easily identify your absentee owners. So you could do in-state, out-of-state. So if I just want to say yes, and then I also want to see who's vacant, and I also want to know who's on like 2 or more on my list, with all of these, I could apply filters and see what results I get back. Because again, it's a smaller list, but these 42 people are probably somebody that would be really good to go contact. So that is a little bit with the list stacking. Also, you can filter by if something's been skip traced or not. That essentially just means there's a phone number attached. So whether you previously had got it skip traced and imported the phone number with it, or you skip traced it within our system. So if I want to see who has not been skip traced, and on this list, I could click apply filters. And I will then show you how to skip trace. So again, it's super nice. The system doesn't allow duplicates, so it's going to help tremendously with not skip tracing the same property multiple times. And it's on a pay per hit basis, so you're only paying for the information that comes back. So I'm just going to select, I could select all. I'm just going to select what's visible, so these first 15 records. As you can see, there's no phone number. So from here, I'm going to click action, skip trace, put today's date in, and it's going to range from 12 to 15 cents per hit depending on which plan you're at. I'm just going to click purchase. It's going to show your estimated total. You can use your wallet or balance on your account, or you can pay with a card. I recommend just using the balance on the account because there's no minimum. With a card, there's a 50-cent minimum, so just keep that in mind. So I'm going to click purchase. You'll see the skip trace has been requested. And then from there, I'm going to go to the skip trace tab. It's going to show you all your results. So what I just did, I had one match, which means I already had skip traced it, so it's not going to charge me. Total hits, total cost. You can add it to database. Because I pulled it originally from the database, I don't need to re-add it. It will just update the record for me. If I wanted to push it to a texting campaign, I could do that. Or if I want to export it out, I could do that as well. And it's going to just keep track of everything here for you. So that is skip tracing. If you wanted to, you could technically import right here your list, but since I already had the list from when we originally imported, I don't need to go that route. But you can if you need to. At that point, you would then want to add to database. So that is pretty much your skip tracing, your list stacking, all the different filters. Again, if you have any additional questions, feel free to use our support or any of these functions. And of course, the support chat and joining our weekly webinars. Thank you.